Have you been thinking about getting into Forex trading? Forex trading opens up a world of opportunity for those who know how to do it properly. You can experience financial freedom and reap tremendous rewards for your trading skills. Unfortunately, many programs make big promises and throw students into the trading market without the proper knowledge and expertise to succeed. Fortunately, there is a solution. Great White FX Academy is the best place to start your Forex trading journey with the tools, resources, and education necessary to help you thrive in the market. Great White FX is an online training platform that provides technical training that will help you succeed. It is of the utmost importance to have a proper qualitative education to participate in Forex trading, and that is exactly what Great White FX focuses on. Click the link below this video to join Great White FX and gain access to all of the resources you need to find great success with Forex trading.
Hello. Hello, good evening. You're welcome to today's open market, today's trade plan for the 1st of November 2019. So, if you can hear me clearly, please type in yes. If you can hear me clearly and see my screen, please type in yes so that we can start off. Hello, if you can hear me clearly and see my screen, please type in yes. Hello. Okay. So without wasting much of your time, let's get down to what we have in store for today. So tomorrow being Friday, the 1st of November 2019, the French bank holiday, Italian bank holiday. But later in the afternoon, we're going to have a high impact news. That's non-farm employment change. That's the US news by 1:30. And then we'll be having the ISM manufacturing PMI by 3 p.m. So that's the major news that we have tomorrow. That's 1:30 p.m. West African time. That's like GMT. So that out of the way, let's get down into our chart and see what we have in our chart. So as always, we start with the dollar index. So looking at the dollar index broke this trend line and dropped, but it seems to be finding a bit of support at this structure area here. Seems to be finding a bit of support at this area. So the storyline is, if it breaks this level, it might drop lower. If it breaks this level, it might drop lower. But if this level holds as support, then you might be watching price to do this. If that level holds as support, then, excuse me, if should this level hold as support, because it has tried several times to break it, but you might see price rally down. So on this scenario, you might see a little bit of dollar bounce tomorrow. But if you look at the chart overall, the dollar index is in the downtrend. It's not looking very, very bullish for now. There's no bullish bias on it. So if you're trying to take a long position, you need to be very careful on the dollar index. So the next pair, but first let's get a view of the dollar index from the daily point of view. You can see it's still in a downtrend. Still basically in a downtrend. So for now, dollar index is still to the downside. So if this area holds as support, you might see a bounce from here towards this area. If this area fails, then you might see further continuation to the downside of your line. But overall, this pair is bearish. So the next pair we're going to look at is gold. So looking at gold from the daily point of view, well, gold was very, very bullish. Like I said, within the week, this trend line was still in play. As you can see, price bounced from it yesterday, creating a bullish engulfing. So now price is at a kind of a structural area, several weeks to the top side at this area. That's where price is down at the moment. So if we look at this on a intraday chart, we find out that the area is coming in around here. So, and there is a kind of a triangle, although this has been broken. So I can see this lower one has given way. So we have this falling trend line. So the scenario here is, as long as price stays inside this shaded area, because this area now can, yes, as long as price stays inside this area, it has the potential to still go higher. As long as price stays inside this area here, as this top area, it has the potential to still move higher. But should it close, should it get to close out of 1508? So if you see something like this, because this 1508, as long as price is above it, it can act as a catalyst to push price higher. Or should price break below it, something like this, then you're going to see price move lower to test this prior support structure again. That's to test this prior support structure again. And if that place gives way, then you might see price move lower. But for now, this pair, if you zoom out a bit, more like on the 4-hour, it's looking more like a sideways move. If you look at it on the daily, it's almost the same thing. You're looking like something like a channel. Let me draw this here. There's a falling trend line here. Like yes, the falling trend line here. As you can see, if we go back now to our intraday chart, we can adjust this our trend line. We can put this trend line on the daily. That's this trend line from the daily. Here. Go back to the daily. Okay. So that I get the proper placement for the trend line. Okay. Down. So, as you can see, that trend line coupled with this zone is what is giving price a bit of a challenge. So price is having a bit of a challenge to break to the top side. So for now, it's in a resistance kind of structure. So except it comes down to 1508 and acts as support, that might give it a move higher. But if it closes below 1508, it might look for support at any of these levels noted down. So the next pair we're going to look at is the USDCHF. Looking at the USDCHF is clearly in a down move. As you can see from the daily, clearly still in a down move. So most likely it should be getting into this area by tomorrow. So let's see USDCHF, see what it has. So that area I talked about on the daily is coming in here. It broke this trend line. So this trend line, let's get rid of it. So if this area holds tomorrow on a retest, that's the whole of Friday, we have non-fan fail tomorrow. Should that area hold as support, price may move higher. But should that area fail, then we're looking at this area. Looking at this area to hold price. As should this area fail. But if it comes into this area, there's a possibility you'll see something like this. You see the bouncing here, and and the move higher to test this prior area or even higher. But should this place fail, then you see something like this tomorrow. So that's just a scenario on price for this pair. That's the scenario for price tomorrow. So it's sitting above, as you can see, it hasn't touched this area. It has been coming close to it and it has been moving. So it might spike in there and bounce out of it tomorrow, but we can't see until tomorrow. But for now, looking at it on the daily time frame, still bearish. So the bearish momentum might still continue, but we have support here, we have support here. So that structure is coming in. It's coming in somewhere here. That's what you have here, this point and this point. So that's what we have on the USDCHF. For now, it's still bearish. So what you'll be looking for on this pair is to sell into any rally. If you have a rally, you'll be looking to sell into the rally. So the next pair we're going to look at is the EURUSD. So looking at the EURUSD, this pair is clearly bullish, I see. But the indecision close on the day is a little bit giving a little reason for concern. And if you look at this from the daily, there's a trend line running from this point to this point. So we might say you've had a failed break today, tested it, then dropped back inside. So if we look at it on the intraday, the trend line I don't have here. Trend line I don't have here, but I have a channel. So let me put in that trend line. Trend line is running from this high here down to this high. So that's where we have trend line. Where we have the trend line. So you can see price, failed break, trend line at that top area, and there is resistance structure. So price rejected from there and dropped. So now what may happen tomorrow is something like this. As long as price stays below 1160, it may still go lower. But it should price go back into 1160, then you may see a scenario like this. But if it stays below here, there's a tendency it might still go back. So you just need to look at what price gives you tomorrow and decide what to do. But if it goes above, it closes above 1179, might send price up to this area. And if you look at this from the daily view, there is a larger channel. You see the channel? It's a bigger channel here. So price may likely run in there. So that's it on our intraday chart. So the best thing on this pair is just to watch and see what happens. If it comes into this 1.1160 and gets rejected, then you know it might drop back lower. As you can see, it tagged into this area we highlighted yesterday and bounced back on. So we know that this area is a very important area of support. So the next pair we're going to look at is the EURGBP. So looking at the EURGBP, I can't see much on this pair. The only thing I can see on this pair from the daily point of view is that their inability to break this trend line. There's a big trend line here. There's a big trend line from May 2016 all the way to May 2019. So they are sitting at that trend line, as you can see. And that trend line coupled with this major zone here, they don't seem to want to break it yet. So what they're just doing is that they're just consolidating heavily here, spiking both sides. So you need to be careful with this pair if you're trading this pair. So how do we trade that on our intraday? On our intraday, if you ask me, I'll just say caution is a watchword on this pair. Because we have something like a triangle that's broken into the downside. This looks like a retest and it may move lower. So that's just it for this pair. As you can see, it's chaos. So if you're trading the EURGBP, you need to be a bit careful. You just need to be a bit careful if you're trading the EURGBP to avoid any unpleasant situation. And if you understand, the EURGBP has a large influence on what happens on the GBP pair. So you need to also be aware of that. So next way we're going to look at is GBPUSD. So looking at the GBPUSD on the daily view, well, let's see, do we have any falling trend line coming into our area of the fourth balance? Let's see. Not physically. Let me see. The big from here, sorry, the big from here down to this area. So we see this where price is now. This where price is now. So price has not tested this trend line. Hasn't tested it yet. So, but for now, price is still bullish to the top side. So if we look at this pair now, well, what do you do? Since it has tested it. Oh, this is a channel. It's a channel. Yes, we have a channel here. I see this channel. Price has tested that top channel today. And that's why it's having a bit of a challenge. Tested it today. So now the storyline here is this. Let me get rid of this. And see, there was something like an upward sloping channel here yesterday. Price broke above it. So if you look at this setup now, change this place to blue. If we look at this setup, when price closed above here, this area 29.25 has been acting as support, as you can see. It has been acting as support. Price has not closed below it. So as long as price stays above this area, there exists the potential that it may test this area tomorrow. That's just what you need to understand on price. As long as price stays above this area, that's 1.2925, you may see price move higher because it has failed to close below. So you may see something like this tomorrow. But be well aware, this area has rejected price on several attempts. So if it comes in here and doesn't close inside it, you might see price come back down. But if you ask me on this pair is slightly tilted to the upside. But that depends on what happens when it gets to this trend line on the daily. When it gets to the trend line on the daily, what happens there will determine a lot. So that's it for this pair. So the next pair we're going to look at is GBPCHF. So we're looking at the GBPCHF from the daily point of view. The same thing. It's just not pleasant at all. You see it? Chaos. But there's one thing that's very obvious on this pair. Price activity is within the range of only one candle. This candle. And see, price activity is within the range of this candle. So on this pair, the deciding factor is what happens when they break out of it. That's just what will happen. As if they run to the top and get rejected, that will give a better shorting opportunity. But for now, the pair is just pure chaos on the intraday. It's just pure chaos. You can see it's within this kind of triangle. It will drop. So the deal is, it's just not there. But a break below this triangle, something like this, we test then, it might come lower. But it has some obstacles to the top side. So even if it breaks to the top side, it has these two resistance areas to take care of. And if you notice, the topmost is that range candle I spoke of. So here, if it breaks it to the top side, then it's moving higher. So that's it for the GBPCHF. So the next pair we're going to look at is the USDJPY. Well, this pair dropped out of the sky today. Heavily dropped out of the sky. This point, doing a non-farm payroll, ran into it and dropped. So looking at this pair, the way it has dropped and having broken this neckline here, I would just say basically what you just do is you pick your fib from the top to the low and wait for pullback to this area. And if you look at the chart, that area is lining up with the 50%. So you just need to see if it pulls back in there. So my chart is USDJPY is not yet updated. Let me take my time to update it. As you can see, there's a trend line here. There's a trend line here. Price is currently at that trend line. So the storyline now on this pair is if this trend line moves, it's going to move higher. But if it moves above 108.25, the close above 108.25 will send it higher. Close above 108.25 will send it higher. So on this pair, since it's to the downside, you just need to wait for a good rally. If it rallies and starts coming down, then you take your short position. That's just the best play on this pair. And it broke a trend line here. The trend line that it broke here from this point here. So you might just wait for a retest of this trend line. If it closes above 108.25, wait for it to retest this broken trend line, and then retest it and gets rejected, then may come down hard. May come down hard. So that's just it. For this pair, just look for rally and pull back as you sell into rally because it's on the downtrend from today. Then another pair that fell down today was the Euro yen. The funny thing with this pair is I was deciding whether to take the shot on this pair and then the next minute to move down started. And when a candle with momentum kicks off, it was here. I was deciding whether to take the trade or not. I was still checking, and before you knew the move started. That once the move starts, I avoid chasing. So if we look at this pair, it's in a support structure. So most likely, you may see a rally on this pair. You might see a correction to the back up. So like the same thing on the USDJPY. So if you look at this pair, this neckline, it's not breaking it. If you look at the USDJPY broke his own. So this pair, the Euro yen, if you're trying to sell it, you need to be very cautious. It's not yet ready. Because let me get this low. This neckline in as well. If I switch to the line chart, it becomes very this area, this area. Just wait for it to rally back up. So the same method, you use your fib. The same method, you use your fib. Just wait for a pullback. If it gives you a pullback and starts coming back down, then you can sell it. So that's it for the Euro yen. So the next one we're going to look at is the pound yen. So look at the pound yen. Well. We have what looks like an inside candle here, and the candle seems to have been taken out. But the deal with this pair is this. Let me do it. It has this support here. So there's a possibility it may pull back. So how do we trade this on our intraday? So this is what we have on the intraday chart. Sorry. This is what we have on the intraday chart. This trend line seems to be breaking. As you can see, there's a triangle of sorts here. There's a triangle of sorts here. If you notice, on the 4-hour, there's one major candle here. Just like the GBPCHF, this candle has held its weight. All activity has been within its range. So now, it's more like a sideways move on the 4-hour. So what you need to see is, if he pulls back and gets rejected, okay, you might sell to this rising trend. or this support area. As long as this support area holds, it's going to move back up. So if you ask me on the intraday, this pair is just more like in a range. It's more like in a range. So the next pair we're going to look at is AUDUSD. Whoa. Whoa, whoa, whoa. AUDUSD a long way to the top. Not good. Rejection from this area. And didn't stay above here. Now, it seems to want to close below this prior high. So let's see how this pair is going to look like on the intraday basis. So, okay. So let's see what happens here. Now, the deal on this pair is this. If it stays below 68.95, it's going to drop lower. Then, if it is going to drop lower, where would you be watching? You need to watch this area here. That's 68.59, this area. Because even though if it rallies, it might get rejected and drop back down. So if it starts to drop, where do you need to be paying attention? Get this, that area is not so smooth. It's not so smooth. You're looking at somewhere here. The area is not so smooth. Somewhere here. That's where you should be paying attention to. Should it start to drop? Yeah. Because as you can see, this swing high, it broke above it. It's supposed to have retested it. If you notice, on the first retest, it closed back above. But this 4-hour closing back below and this other 4-hour, it must not close. It has to close above to continue the rally to the top side. If not, you're going to see, you may see something like this. You may see a rally, the price will come down. But if you look at this from the daily, it's looking bullish. It may still try to move higher. And there's what I call a W formation. It's a big W formation. A very, very big one. So what price might have done today? So now the line in the sand, now let me get the line in the sand for you guys on this pair 68.80. So this box, excuse me, this box here. If price does not close below 68.49, that's somewhere here, this entire box. If it doesn't close below this box, it has a potential to still move higher. But even if it should move higher, you should be well aware there is a trend line, more like a channel. There's a trend line, something running like this. See here for this activity. So this is what you have in the day. So even if it breaks, it has this area to contend with. That is what that trend line is what you're looking somewhere in. Let me put that. You can see it. Do you see it? So that's what it came very close to. That's it for this pair. Look for this pair. So the next pair we're going to look at is the Euro AUD. So the Euro AUD, well, this pair has always is bearish, but it's at a support structure. It has broken this neckline. As long as it stays below here, it will still drop lower. And that area has been giving some good trades since yesterday. Some good trades. Whenever price comes back there, it drops. Comes in there, it drops. So this is the support structure I was talking about. So on this pair, just play the range. One of my students made 32 pips from this. Then I think another bought one of these on the way up. So it's just the range. But should you get a close on the 4-hour above 62.09, it is moving back up. So if you get something like this, it's moving back up. And this trend line, sorry, this trend line is running all the way from here. You see where the trend line is running? False break here. That's what led to this drop. Then a retest of this trend line happened sometime within the week for that drop. So on this pair, it's still tilted to the downside. As long as price stays below 62.9, 1.62.9, it will still go lower. So this is a major zone, it's a large zone. You need to watch out for this zone. And I have something little here. I have a little area here. A very, very little area here. So that's it for this pair. The next pair we're going to look at is the USD CAD. We're looking at the USD CAD from the daily point of view. You can see price drop. This tip was on yesterday's range. Price dropped to the 50% and found support there because it's still slightly to the top side. So as you can see, that was what I said yesterday. It dropped a bit and it's moving back. As you can see, dropped a bit and it's moving back up to the top side. So on this pair, this area to watch. See, it got rejected there yesterday, so it might rally up to this place. Now, as long as it stays above 31.43, above 31.43, which is now support, it might continue higher. A move above this area, same price to this point. So that is it. So that's it for that pair. Then the next pair we're going to be looking at is the NASDAQ. This for one of my students. This is the pair he treats. So on this pair, there's something I would like to show to some of my students in the class. I asked them a question today and they couldn't get it. On this pair, there's a structure. You see, like I always say, it's not the candles you trade. You don't trade the candles. You trade the candles from the structure the candle is coming from. So you just don't say you're trading candles. No. Candle is moving up, you're buying. No, you don't do that. You need to know where it is coming from. And you need to know where you are. When you know where it is coming from and where you are, it will save you a lot of heartache. Because sometimes a trade can be given to you, a bullish candle can be given to you into a major resistance, and the next thing you're going to drop. For instance, look at this. Look at Euro AUD today. Look at Euro AUD. Let's look at Euro AUD on the 1 hour. Looking at Euro AUD on the 1 hour. This was a very, very big move. It ran into here. If you did not know that this was here, you would have probably bought on this candle because you would say, the momentum is big. And after that, what happened? They dropped. Then when they dropped, why did they go back up again? That is what you need to know. Because when they drop into structure here. You can't see it, but it is there. So now on this NASDAQ, my students is not in the class. It's not around. So on this NASDAQ, some people started selling from here. So what did they do yesterday? They dropped, they spiked back up, took out all the stops here. So what did they now do today again? Now, there's a structure here. This is a double top. But you need to learn to see the double top before it actually completes. So you need to learn when you see a high, the first high, most of you wait for that high to be tested again. And this looks like an equal top high, but it is not. This is what you have. And for those of my students, you know this is the best kind of double top because every stop or pending order here has been activated. What did they do? They dropped. Now, when they dropped, it came back to that neckline. This is it. I was asking people an aggressive entry. Nobody could get it. This is the aggressive entry. Then when they dropped, where did they drop? Into this area. You see? So if you miss this first move, wait for them here. Because as a close below this level tells you that this area has failed as support. You wait for the retest, pending order here, stop loss above here. And what did they do? Where did they drop to? This next area. And they didn't drop in here. What did they do? They bounced. So on this pair, that's for those who trade the Nasdaq. If it fails to go above here, then you might see a retest of it. So most likely this pair might range within this area for some time. So you just need to know where your major range tops are and major range bottoms are. So thank you all for coming. These are my social media handles. Registration for the November 6 weeks masterclass is ongoing. If you've not signed up, I will advise you sign up, because what I'm teaching you is what I teach other people. I'm not teaching. If you look at my chart has no indicator. The only indicator you see there is a moving average, and that's a dynamic support or resistance. I don't use indicators. I use the plain chart, because an indicator will stop you from seeing what the chart is telling you. That's what most of them do. An indicator is a shadow of the price. Price will first move before the indicator would react. So if you want to sign up for the class, you could either send me, this is my Telegram handle. You could send a Telegram message, or you send a WhatsApp message, or you give a call to this number. This video will be posted on the YouTube channel, so you could go there to watch the video. So I thank you all for taking your time to attend, and I wish you all a beautiful night's sleep and a blessed trading day ahead. Do not forget, tomorrow is non-farm payroll. If you don't know what to do, or you don't have the risk tolerance, it will be advisable you stay out of the market to save what you got throughout the week. So thank you all and good night.